Okay, you Walt Disney fans, I'm going to take you to the home of one of the most famous, successful entrepreneurs of the 20th century lived from 1932 to 1950. Where we're at, we're in the what they call the Los Feliz area of Los Angeles. And it's actually Los Feliz, but in LA they say Los Feliz. And I'm coming up to 4053 Woking Way. And the reason why Walt built this house in 1932, because Lillian was pregnant finally, and then sadly she miscarried, and then she got pregnant again, and then she miscarried, and then finally she got pregnant again, and then finally she had Diane in December of 1933. This is where he raised Sharon and Diane, in this house, and this is where they had the happiest times of their young lives. And he lived here while he was building up and cranking out all the animation cells for what would come out later in 1937 as Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. This house, though, they call it the house that Mickey built because he had already made a fortune off Mickey Mouse and the silly symphonies. And he built this in what they call the French Norman architectural style. He was a big fan of that type of architectural motif. And they actually sold this house recently for $3.65 million in 2011. Thankfully it looks original the way it did back then, and here it is. It's at 4053 Woking Way, and he built it on a really high cliff. And I already drove around it, and in the back it's very precarious, and it's really high up, and you can see it up there, right there. You can see the round rotunda entrance. It had a projection room, a billiard room, a great swimming pool. In fact, I met a lot of old people that grew up in this neighborhood, and they said he used to invite all the neighborhood kids to swim during the Great Depression. And as you can see, most of these people were doing pretty good. Look at all these houses from that era, the 1930s. I guess you could also say Raymond Chandler, Los Angeles, Philip Marlowe. And here you go, the house that Mickey built, 4053 Woking Way. Thankfully it's still there. They haven't changed it at all. And the house where the great man himself lived until they moved out of here in 1950 to Carrollwood Avenue in the Holmby Hills. And as you can see, these homes would have been here back then, while Walt would be driving down this little street after a hard day's work day, and cranking out and working out what would later become 1937 Snow White. And here you go, 4053 Woking Way, and here you go. Here's the driveway that Walt would have come driving up towards. And look at that house from the 1930s there. And here you go, all you fans of the great man Walt Disney, and all the wonderful times I'm sure he had here with Lillian, Diane, and Sharon, who are all sadly gone. First, Sharon, she died at 56 in 1993, and she was only 56. And then Diane died in 2013 already at 79. And then Lillian, of course, she died in 1997 at 98. And then, of course, Walt, he died in 1966 at 65. So thankfully it's still here. And here it is, the house that Mickey built. Thanks, Walt, wherever you're at, for all the happiness you give to the world. One of the greatest entrepreneurs, producers, and artists of the 20th century. Okay, thank you, and please subscribe to my channel.